Israel strikes Iran, explosions in Tehran, sirens, and Jesus. Okay, yeah, here we go. This is it. Yeah. I'll bring this in. Get out of here. Shoo. I hate when it does this because I string I make my minus get minus minus. Get out of here. All right. Okay, get out of here. 1 second. Sorry about this, guys. Hold on. I'm already a subscriber. Shoo. All right, here we go. Yeah, so I was going to talk about this because it was one of these potential things. Israel strikes Iran, explosions in Tehran, sirens in Israel. Everybody was like, we're just hedging on this going into the weekend because they're going to have these big talks on Sunday. The Israeli Air Force conducted a strike on Iran on Thursday. According to two sources with knowledge of the operation, it's not clear what Israel is targeting, but explosions were reported in Tehran. Why matters? Israel directly attacking its biggest and best armed adversary. Okay, but not clear whether Israel has ordered the strikes on Iran's nuclear program or whether the U.S. opposed the specific operation. Again, whatever. But they're calling it a yeah, but I feel like that's a win for me. I feel like people have started to recognize that I know what's going on. There's always a yeah, but in these articles, and literally Axios is calling it that. You're welcome. Another Hal Sparks thing, along with spelling maggots with capital M-A-G-A with a lowercase t. It's not clear whether Israel has ordered strikes on Iran's nuclear program or whether the U.S. opposed the specific operation. I'm going to guess that the strikes are not just happening in Tehran specifically. That's a little silly. Following the state of Israel's preemptive strike on Iran, a missile and drone attack against the state of civilian population is expected in the immediate future, said Defense Minister Israel Katz. And okay, behind the scenes, U.S. notified several of its allies in private on Thursday that Israeli strikes were imminent and made clear it was not involved. The Trump administration has already told Israel it would not participate in any strikes on the nuclear program, Axios reported. However, the U.S. has previously helped defend Israel from Iranian attacks and would likely do so again if strikes kick off a retaliatory cycle. Of course they will. Also, there's a big portion of this where Trump has played such the tough guy that now anything tough that happens in the world, he has to own. Right? He can't go, I didn't want to attack this. They did this. He can't leave Israel out in the wind, especially when he clearly was okay with it. Because, by the way, I would like to remind everyone, today is the day that Trump's Trump-Iran deal ends today, whatever. Trump warns of strike on if no nuke deal is signed. Where is it? Global Watchdog finds Iran failing to meet nuclear. Okay, that was it. Okay, so also today, the IAEA said for the first time that Iran is not letting them look at the nuclear sites. And then, let's see, Trump, anyways, the deal he made 2 weeks ago or whatever, today's the end of that. Yeah, he'll blame Biden. Yeah, this is my war. This is Biden's war. This is Obama's war. He's the one that made the deal that I scuttled over the years. Yeah, so much breaking news has happened. I know it's true. So, I don't know if there's going to be, let's see, Israel strikes Iran live. We'll see if there's footage. Everything is about to. You ready to strike Iran? Trump says, and whatever. This is like, everybody's just catching up. This is literally just happening. Hold on. Okay, this is, yeah, they asked Trump about it. Israel about to attack. Yeah, so this is what's been happening all day, and I wanted to address this when it was on earlier. That Israel about to attack Iran. CBS was talking about it this morning, and it certainly turned out that way. And the whole thing was like Witkoff was saying it probably wouldn't, and whatever. Now, I'm going to try and find as we have it, since this is actually happening. And I don't have Iran live I'll see if this is happening right now. Israel ready to launch operation? Yeah, everybody says today. It's by the last hour. Anything? Israel attacks Iran. Live breaking news coverage is a breaking. Okay, Iran. So I'm going to try to find the footage of it. That's upcoming. Okay, never mind. 1 second. Yeah, so this is another channel. I'm not quite sure where they're getting this feed from. This is a yeah, I'll try to do this. This is somebody else's feed. I don't want to borrow too much of their stuff, but this is a live shot inside Tehran, I think. Let's see, back this up there. Yeah. I don't know what this, the dude from Legalize LA, and then okay, and then this just occurred. This is like as it's happening, somebody's cutting over to this like basically Telegram video that's popping up. This is inside Tehran. Because okay, and I'll see if I can find better footage of it. There's nobody who couldn't see this coming. By the way, it makes me a little nuts that like that people couldn't see this shit boiling over. And this was let's see, this is going to be, I'm sure, yeah, Israel strikes. Here we'll see what Charlie Kirk and crowd think about it. Hold on.
Striking the capital seems to be a major escalation, Blake.
Yeah, I don't want to presume. There could be any number of reasons. It could be that there are military facilities there they want to hit.
Look at these guys playing, like, and Posobiec up there's like looking at this going, oh shit, I'm getting all these weird tweets about I thought he was the peace president and shit, right?
So that could be like elements of their military command structure. Maybe that's where some of their like.
I'm guessing that the military command structure is in their capital somewhere. Brilliant. I'm gonna check around as people start freaking out of this. I don't doubt that we'll see people popping on. Let's say there's okay, daily protest live. This is the ABC News, whatever. And the air energy crash. This is I don't know, like holy war.
Covering it. Obviously expected to focus on the U.S. response to this and the developing of events in Iran. Excuse me, I was trying to read and speak at the same time.
I hear you, sister. I do it all the time.
So clearly they were aware of this. They believed that this was coming. Donald Trump has now assembled his top officials.
I feel so much better. His top officials. Well, it can't be J.D. Vance, because I don't think he's a top. Oops, sorry. Hold on. Let me try that again. I don't think he could be J.D. Vance because he's not a top. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, I tried. All right.
To meet with him at the White House, bring this together. One of the things that I have been told about meetings like this right now is that they're all done in person since what we saw with Signalgate, with the...
Because they have to be now, because nobody trusts fucking Hegseth. This is one of these like crypto dudes who follows Trump and thinks he's the shit. So this is, but yeah, so people are grabbing shit off of Telegram. What is this? Oh, Scent Defender status. Okay, that's on Twitter, on Shitter, right? I'll see if I can, let's see if he'll play a bit of
what was targeted. It doesn't look like, at least in this photo, that apartment buildings were struck. It looks like...
No, they're not going to hit civilian targets, dum-dum. They're going to hit military targets or stockpiles or something inside. They're going to hit air batteries so that the next time around they can hit other stuff. Also, Iran is not above putting this assumption that their fucking nuclear facilities are out in the desert under the ground like a mile is ridiculous when they could put them a mile below a city, and that would make it less likely that people would strike it. right? Like everybody's watching Maverick, which it's a great movie, but if you're going to fly out, if you're flying out in the middle of nowhere and it's just batteries around this thing and it's just at this secret site that you could see from fucking Google Earth, that doesn't make sense. But, considering Iran's history with how Hamas does things, or how like Hezbollah and the Houthis work, or why would Iran be, tunneling below their own city and building their nuclear facility there be below them? You know what I mean? You could argue that the noise of a city would cover some of the radiation that they might ship in and out. So, yeah, wait for U.S. oil is over $70 a barrel. Yeah, it's going to go up like crazy. It's kind of like Russia attacking Ukraine, though. Not quite, because Ukraine never tried to attack Russia through proxies, and they certainly never did a barrage of 300 missiles like Iran did a little bit ago. We aren't in a deal with to de-nuke Russia, and they're being obstinate and hiding nukes or whatever. Like, it's a totally different animal. Eddie Rabbit, you love a rainy night? I understood. I understood. I do too. Yes, gas prices are definitely going to go up now, and that's the only reason Trump gives a shit about this. I bet the only thing that would keep him from just backing Iran, nuking Iran, backing Israel, nuking Iran themselves, is because of the gas prices. If I wish it would rain down on me. Never a wrong time to sing some Phil Collins. Let me bring this in here. I'm going to try and go. Let's see. It's a Defender. There we go. Let's see. This is going to be crap. Okay, this is going to be older or whatever. So hold on one second. Trying to find. I know where. Let's see. Oh, stop it. You silly thing. I'm going to try and find the most recent footage that I can, see what's popping up. I'm sure that the mouthpiece are going. Scores for Russia Day. Congratulations. Trump allies pitches. Okay. Yeah, people haven't caught up to it on Raw Story yet. We'll check Daily Beast. I'm going to guess they will have nope. There's still no security thing. They haven't caught up either. They haven't responded to it. This is how fast this is happening. Axios is the only one that actually had it. Let's see. Air Force around Israel is in both grave danger. Not participate in any strikes. Before the operation became public, Mike Huckabee tweeted that he was at the embassy in Jerusalem and will remain here all night. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. So this is Huckabee. By the way, they gave him a chance to split, and because they told all of the folks in the area, they were starting to clear people out of the area, and everybody was like, Trump's such a deal maker. This is like a great manipulation tactic. He's like, oh shit, they must be serious about bombing us, and we're gonna have to really come to the table and denuclearize because they're moving people out, and nobody would spend that kind of money moving everybody out if they weren't serious. Well, that's exactly right. It wasn't a manipulation. It wasn't a deal point or an upping of the ante. It was legit. They were like, we got to get everybody the fuck out of here because this is going to get real dark real fast. Hold on one second. Yeah, the Iran deal with Trump ended today. So, let's go to Iran news. Mass casualty retaliation by, top U.S. official warns of mass casualty retaliation by Iran. Right, that was Steve Witkoff, right? You on Watchdog on the news. Trump, yeah. U.S. partially evacuate embassy in Iraq. They're in the process of doing it. They were just getting a plan of it this morning. This didn't help too. This was 3 hours ago. This is hold on. Let me shrink this down so you can see it. This is also partly why it happened. Go away. Iran announces a new nuclear enrichment site after UN watchdog censure. So after the IAEA said they're not complying and they're not showing us all their stuff, they announced a new site. Iran said it has built and will activate a third nuclear enrichment facility, ratcheting up tensions with the UN on Thursday, immediately after its atomic watchdog agency censured Iran for failing to comply with non-proliferation obligations meant to prevent it from developing a nuclear weapon. Again, we had to deal with these people, and Trump scuttled it. It's the same way he got rid of the pandemic response team, and we ended up in a pandemic. It's the same reason he got rid of the cops program that Obama put in so that police forces could broom bad cops, and we ended up with Derek Chauvin killing somebody. Like, people, like, all Trump does is light wicks. He doesn't give a rat fuck how long they are, and except that he hopes they're long enough that people are, like, with their fucking hamster memory, don't know enough to, attribute it to his actions. This satellite photo from Planet Labs shows the Natanz nuclear facility in Iran on May 20th. Like, they know where this one is, but can you hit it hard enough to actually do anything without actually nuking it yourself? That's been the question. Thursday, Trump said they asked him about, while he was at fucking Les Mis, misunderstanding the plot of that show. I don't want to say imminent, but it looks like something could very well happen. Look, it's very simple, not complicated. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. And again, if he's saying that, we're a part of it. Let me be abundantly clear. This whole idea that we're not a part of this is ridiculous. If he's saying that's the standard, and they failed the IAEA thing today, violated the UN standard. They announced a new enrichment site, and this is the end of the deal he supposedly had that gave them 2 weeks to do this, even though they punted to Sunday for another meeting. He's absolutely signed off on this. Please. And anybody on the right who's bitching about this are like, I thought he was going to be the peace president. You motherfuckers thought it was funny when he said he could shoot somebody in Fifth Avenue and never lose any support. Well, guess what, dummy? This is his global version of shooting someone on Fifth Avenue. Trump's whole life is a hoax. Agreed. I'm picking through this because I know it's going to be as the live stuff. Let's see, agenda for news. Hold on. People are just picking this up. Let me see if I can grab this. See if there's there's no explosions in this stuff that I can see in what they're feeding in here, because this is the city itself. The city, again, they're not going to strike civilian places. If anything, it would be an attempt to, this could be a warning shot. And they're baiting Iran into doing something worse, so it gives them an excuse. I don't know if these dickheads are doing something. What is happening here? This is the... this is later. Okay, never mind. Sorry, I was checking. There was... it looked like Jesse Waters was live, and I'm like, nope, that's just somebody playing his show. This is... live report. Okay, we'll do this. This is just maps. I don't care. They're not responding to anything yet. Okay. I'm hunting stuff down for you guys right now, as best I can. Go back to live, you stupid thing. Breaking Israel attacks Iran. I love how the LA protests are going to get wiped off the fucking news. Yeah. Jesus. It has begun. Live coverage, Israel, Yeah, the people who are covering the ICE protests are going to be really sad that they're all caught up playing looped footage of a burning car while arguably... Oh, is this... Yeah, they're talking off their ass. Hold on. We'll find it. Yeah, air raid sirens are happening there. This is the... I know what this dickhead is doing. Okay, it's just chit chat. That's the hard part. Is like everybody's trying to find footage that actually is meaningful to the situation, but we don't know if they did it and it's done. And then, wait, I still want to see what Posobiec and these dickheads are saying. let's check in on the right-wing freak out.
Launch this huge kamikaze style drone attack deep within Russian territory. It would be very easy for Iran to do something like that, or to have smuggled such types of things across the U.S. border in the Biden
Oh, right. Okay. So this is all, this is him trying to make it Biden's fault.
years, where there was no operational control of vast swaths of the U.S. border.
Hey, buddy, if what happens if the shit just happens on Trump's watch? What if these magic drones that are sitting, parked in trailer parks all over the place never show up, and it's just attacks that happen while Trump is president? You gonna apologize? Probably not.
Other than by the cartels, so it'd be.
Why would the cartels want to kill their customers? You weirdo.
Be very simple for them to just pay the cartels to allow them to do such a thing.
Yeah, and again, sorry, you want to give me money to do what? Destroy my market, so they'll shut down the border so I can't get anything in. All the ports will be closed. They'll be basically sealed up tight, and my biggest, customer base will be taken off. How about fuck you?
When it comes to direct retaliation, though, I think more than likely at this point, unless more information comes in, at this point, it seems as though
at this point
their retaliation will be directly and solely against Israel.
Why?
Remains to be seen, of course, if they wish to strike any U.S. forces within the region. They certainly.
Yeah, this is brilliant. When did this asshole turn into like doof blitzer?
Can they have the capability to do so? They have a robust ballistic missile program. They have
Yes, it's very sexy.
by the way, they have two militaries in Iran: the nominal Iranian forces, the regulars, as well as the IRGC, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. Those are the forces that are directly subordinated to the.
They are subordinated. They have been. They've all been subordinated for years.
The Ayatollah. So there's the Ayatollah's
It's pronounced the Yatollah.
forces and the country.
Oh, thanks, CSL. I will jump on there in 1 second.
Forces. It's a little bit different than we do in the United States, as it would be. But certainly they have ballistic missile capability, and I would.
Oh God! Again, tell us a bunch of shit you don't know anything about, dummy. Let me jump over to the Discord, which would be if I go up here to this thing. Oh, go back here. And I go with this button. There we go. And this button. There we go. Don't switch. Go away. Don't ask again. Okay. Al Jazeera Live. Thank you. Yeah, this makes sense. Israeli Defense Minister talking about the preemptive strike. I don't know when it started. Let's see. Local police reporting one of the two people killed. Oh, they're talking about the Indian crash. And then it all starts. Yeah, it looks like it. Okay. Yeah, they're talking about the IAEA stuff. Yeah, the sad thing in India. They're basically covering this story, it seems, when this broke. Let's see. Oop. Iran in breach of nuclear rules. We'd been hearing about that all morning. And again, this seems to be a lot closer to what triggered this. Is Al Jazeera paid by the people in Qatar. United States generals have voted overwhelmingly to demand a ceasefire in Gaza. Right. This is again the Qataris who have been hiding the Hamas leaders, and they're giving them billions of dollars over the years or whatever. Okay. UN says Hamas turned Holy Day into Day of Bloodshed. Okay. So they're covering this when this other thing breaks out. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can move forward to where they were doing the weather, and then they did an ad, and then some dude was talking, and then, whoops. U.S. Defense Secretary called deployment of troops in Los Angeles lawful. Okay, whatever. Who gives? Again, everybody's covering the riot stuff, and then, oops. Here we go.
At least 6 explosions have been heard. There were reports in US media that Israel is preparing to strike Iran. Israel has declared a state of emergency with a ban on gatherings. And we will bring you more information as it becomes available. But just a few more breaking news lines I can bring you. The Israeli defense minister has imposed a special state of emergency.
What's going on? I'm doing a show till for another 20 minutes.
Okay, can I go behind?
Yeah, go ahead. Take us here, everybody. Hold on. Lean away 1 second. Are you live on the air? Yeah, I'm live. Of course I'm live on the air. When am I doing? Would I record this stuff? Hey, everybody. Tig, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Beloved friend and 01 drummer, and also great person in general. Just say.
Well, that's very nice. How
It's
are you?
true. I'm fantastic.
Are you marked safe from the riots that are throughout the city?
Yes, I've been far away from the crater.
Okay,
yeah.
I've come through barricades.
Oh, yeah?
and gunfighting and
Yeah.
stormtroopers.
Right. Yeah. Where do you? Is your car on fire still?
My car is still on
It is
fire.
still-
I'm gonna
okay.
go.
I will
right
pee
now.
on it later. I
Okay,
promise.
thank you.
Saving it. I've been
You got
saving
a
up
wide stream.
Well, yeah, I've been drinking tons of iced tea just in case I'm near the flames.
Well, I have Coca-Cola. Would that help?
I don't know. I think through your system that turns into kerosene. Yeah.
I'll leave you to your
Thank you. You
political
put,
work, sir.
no worries. Put your stuff over there. Israel just launched a strike on Iran.
Oh,
Yeah, that just happened.
like right now?
Like right now. Yeah, like 6 hits within Iran, and in Tehran in particular, in the capital. So we don't know if they struck other places again, because I would guess there's not a lot of cell phones out by where their nuclear facilities are out in the desert. But the idea is that they've hit like 6 places in here in the city.
But didn't we just pull a bunch of troops out of that area?
Yeah, we did. Well, not troops. All the family members and all the ambassador like staff, anybody who's not essential has been pulled out of a bunch of places or allowed to leave. Everybody else was having a bug out plan that they were supposed to give to Hegseth's office at some point in the next 24 hours before Sunday. And then that, well, obviously time ran out before they had a chance to do that.
Oh boy.
Yeah. This is fucked up. This is next level.
Are we worried about an escalation of
Yeah.
of
Yes.
fighting in the area?
Yes, we are. This would be a key moment.
And
in
what is
human history.
Netanyahu saying about it? What's his-
He's holding a cabinet meeting about this, but I think he must have been doing it beforehand.
Oh boy,
Yeah, exactly.
this is not good.
No, it's pretty terrible. It will not be World War III, though. I would argue, by the way, that World War III has already been fought in a cyber sense. Right after the Cold War, we switched to a cyber war. I think this would be World War IV if anybody's
I'll go
4.2
this way
beta.
so you can look that
Yeah,
way.
thank you. World War 4.2 beta is really what we're looking at. But this is the Middle Eastern part of the war would be terrorist issues here in the States, not full range bombing of the United States. They don't have the kind of capability. Iran doesn't.
But they certainly have the capability
They hit
of
Israel.
destroying everyone within the region.
Yes. Well, the thing is, it wouldn't even be the concern is do they hit everybody who joined the Abraham Accords?
Right.
That's the big concern.
Right.
Not so much that they're going to attack Israel, because they would expect that the United States and Israel with the Iron Dome have the ability to block shit coming in. So the big concern, I think, and you guys enjoying this conversation between me and Tig, because it's a good one worth having. But
But wait a minute, everybody, you're welcome to chime in.
hold on. Yes. Well, we got a chat room right here. They are.
You chime in and tell us
Yeah, that's
what
right.
you think. Where
Yeah,
am I?
there you are.
Okay.
So the concern would be the obvious targets are the ones you don't go for. Like striking at Israel right away would be the expectation. So everybody rolls in there with the ships and they're expecting this barrage to come, and then you wait till they lower their guard and then you do it again. Or you just go, fuck it, it's time to go to the other side and meet 72 virgins or whatever, if the Ayatollah feels that way, and he goes, it's us or the Saudis, and this is now the time. So it becomes...
Can we just stop for a moment and just a little bit of comic relief here?
Mhm.
The promise is extra pussy on the other side?
Well, here's the thing.
Seriously, people, is this the best we can do?
Yes, it is. It is.
Okay, you don't get shit on this side, and you get to live in
Here's
a
the
desert
trick.
that nobody
It's a
wants.
trick.
But on the other side, you get 72 virgins. And by the way,
Nothing
I just
says
want
they
one
don't-
really good slut.
No, well, that's the thing. You want somebody to know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But there's nothing in there that says they stop being virgins at any point.
Oh wait, so you got
It's hell.
You got
It's
the
hell.
72 girls.
Yeah, 72 women that might be the perfect woman for you, but they're always just out of reach for eternity.
You don't get to touch.
Right. Right. It doesn't say they stop being virgins.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I gotta wonder about
Which would make them irritated as well. I think they'd probably be fairly irritable forever.
I think I'd be a little.
Yeah,
irritable.
they're never getting laid. You're never getting laid.
And you're
Everybody's
surrounded
being
by
wound
all
up.
these women.
Right.
You can't touch.
That's right.
But you got to wonder about any religion whose basic idea is the promise of pussy on the other side.
Yeah, I agree.
Can I say pussy on
Yeah, you can say pussy.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so-
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it sounds
Vagina.
all right. I would like to say it does sound like heaven, but that's what. But heaven doesn't sound like that, which is weird, right? Yeah.
Okay, I guess both can
You're
be
right,
true.
yeah, yeah.
Both can be true.
So there you go.
Okay.
Hold on.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah, and now
I'll
my
stay
mom
out
is
of your
calling
way.
as well. Hold
Uh-oh,
on.
sorry, Mom.
Hi, I'm on the air. What do you need?
Okay, he wants Panera. Can we have Panera?
Yes, I'll order it right after I'm done. Love you.
Hi, Mom.
Okay. Hi, that's Tig. Tig says hi.
Hi, Mom.
Okay, love you.
Bye.
Okay, bye. Yeah, I mean, breaking news. My kid wants Panera, and Tig is here, and all the virgins was no, that was not that was Tig, one of the greatest drummers on the earth currently. I will just say that, and not just because of his talent as a drummer, because of his joie de vivre. Yeah, it's true. And people in this chat will know. I'll talk to you. I would talk about you like that, anyways. Okay, so
From
this is
Tehran. You're
playing the
seeing
video
now
now.
of those explosions, and we do have Tawhid Asadi joining us on the phone from Tehran. Tawhid, what more can you tell us about what is going on there in Tehran?
Well, it's about 3:46 local time here in Tehran, and based on what we have so far, sounds of several explosions have been heard across the capital, not necessarily at one particular point, and there are several of them. One of them was heard, and I personally heard that around 5-6 minutes ago. Another one was heard just in the heart of the capital around half an hour ago, and I can say that we've got at least 6-7 minimum explosion sounds reported to be heard in the city, in different parts of the city, western parts, the southern parts of the city, but still we know that.
Yeah, just remember that, guy. So Al Jazeera is paid for in whole or in part, and really in whole, by the Qatari government. So just remember that.
There is the state TV has confirmed the happening of these explosions, but when it comes to the cause, so far we haven't officially heard anything from Iranian sources. And right now that I'm speaking to you, there are footages, there are pictures coming from different parts of the city, including Tigger part,
Okay, so quick question. We are looking at this footage. We are seeing 6 explosion sites. And most of the time, I would immediately just kind of assume that it was an airstrike, because that's what we're used to. But in following the beeper attack that that Israel carried out so masterfully on the Hezbollah fighters and leadership, are these airstrikes? I mean, we won't know yet, or could these be planted bombs that they had already put there, that have been there for a while, and it's another one of those?
A neighborhood in the western part of the capital, we see smokes coming out from certain parts of the city. That's obviously
smokes and road beers. Be quick.
That could not be an accident, as we are hearing reports coming from the Israeli side saying that they have announced an emergency situation, meaning that there is going to be a possibility, a very strong possibility for them to be involved. We heard the statements from the Israeli defense minister and also the Israeli radio saying that the army, the air forces are said to be.
Yeah, so right now, you've got 6 explosions or more in Tehran. You've got the Israelis are not claiming that they did anything. They're just preparing for a response, or saying state of emergency has been declared. Netanyahu is calling together a cabinet meeting, which seems to be weird. Like, why wouldn't you already be in the process of doing that beforehand? Are they going to claim that it was somebody else? Right. Robbie D is saying, could it be gas explosions, utilities sabotaged? I wouldn't rule that out, especially these days, and drone warfare being what it is. And like I said, after the beeper attack, anything is possible.
Involved in this situation, and we know that so far the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is currently chairing an extraordinary meeting of the cabinet and the security mini cabinet, and that means a sort of systematic initiation or a serious situation that we are experiencing right now.
Yeah, I would argue that that is true. It is a serious situation, but also, I would also what stands out to me. Okay, Israel's finally confirmed they attacked. Okay, good.
In the Iranian
These guys are behind, so I'm watching.
I cannot confirm whether this
Yeah, let's see if I strip ahead
may
to
resume, if they resume at all. We will see snapback action in the UN Security Council against Iran, reimposition of more sanctions. Tehran, very likely in that scenario, will walk out of the NPT altogether. And the risk for a larger confrontation will increase. Now, Trump may pull out and say, well, look, this is Israel's problem. We're not going to be involved in this. But that means, nevertheless, that
yeah, and maybe I'm a Chinese jet pilot.
would be an ongoing military confrontation between Iran and Israel over some time. So I think we've entered a much, much worse stage now. And this could have been prevented. It should have been prevented with a much clearer red line from Trump, making it clear that Israel should not think even twice about sabotaging the diplomacy that Trump had started.
Okay, again, the IAEA thing came out today. Trump's 2-week limit that was already pushed a bunch ends today. They had already blown past several red lines in the discussions. That it was always the clock was ticking. Nobody thinks that this wasn't going to happen. Like again, I talked about this twice last week. It's just like the matter of time. Let's see if like Axios is updating this real quick, and I'm going to sign off at 6 o'clock because I got to go to an event. Israel strike. Okay, the U.S. denies involvement. Nope, they're still stuck in that one. That's the Al Jazeera guys. I'm just checking in on who's responding to this, and the limited amount of responses going. Okay, National Guard. Okay, yep, still Newsom there. There we go. This is Bloomberg's probably here you go. There you go. This is Bloomberg doing on this. Israel launches strike on Iran, braces for retaliation.
To be short-lived.
Yeah, so I mean, if things pass over relatively quickly, then we will be back to focusing on the trade talks, on the trade situation. We have the G7 meeting.
I don't think so. I really don't. I think actually we've just shit the bed, actually. And I think pretty much cancel your fucking weekend plans, you twerp.
Here you go. This is 3 minutes ago. Israel launches airstrikes against Iran nuclear program. U.S. says it was not involved. Crude oil surges as stocks drop on attack. Israel braces for possible retaliation. According to this, let's see. Aussie New Zealand dollars with the risk of blah, blah, blah. Israel has long considered Iran's potential to build atomic weapons a threat to its existence. Iran has long been suspected of harboring the goal of using its nuclear power program to build atomic weapons. And the country, we've known this. Netanyahu, strikes will last until threat removed. Netanyahu, attacking Iran's nuclear program, ballistic missiles. This is what they're focusing on. IDF, dozens of IAF jets complete the first stage of attack. So these were airstrikes. The airstrikes come after the U.S. ordered some staff to leave its embassy in Baghdad after Iran threatened to strike American assets in the Middle East in the event it's attacked over its nuclear program because they knew it was coming. It was not a deal. Iran has long denied. Okay, blah, blah, blah. And again, the IAEA thing coming out was the go-ahead. That's what gave them the green light. It was 3 hours before this happened. They've been prepping for it for a long time, clearly. But I'm telling you, it's the fact that the IAEA said they're no longer complying with inspections. Let's see. Rubio says U.S. not involved in Israeli strikes against Iran. Yeah, plausible deniability and removing ourselves from it. Now, believe me, we'll be involved in whatever happens after. News of the airstrikes have given U.S. treasuries a boost. Great. Israel's attacking Iran's nuclear program, says the military official. Equity markets in Asia risk off sentiment. Headlines, Israeli airstrike inside Iran have ignited geopolitical risk premium. Okay, this is, again, you got to look, we're looking at an economics website. Crude oil jumped 5%. And of course it's going to, because the underground oil trade is going to be affected by Iran. Think Putin would if he could. Let's see. Hal can explore a lot in 4 minutes. You bet I can. We can get through this. Yeah, BB, he made an actual official statement. Okay, we'll find that real quick. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I gotta say the 3 weeks ago, a year ago. Let's see, filters, last hour. Trump warns Israel strike on Iran could out. Okay, that's stupid. He just released a written statement. Is that what it was? Okay. Get in here. Never. Yeah. Hold on. Back up to here. Yeah, these are Iran attacked. Yeah, this is okay. This guy's gonna.
2 nuclear power plants, one at Bookhal, which is currently operational, and another one at Dukovin, which is also being put under construction at this moment, that may also be targeted later on through the night. We are highly doubting, though, that the Israeli Air Force will target it and attack an operational nuclear reactor at Bookhal, as that may cause extremely serious consequences for the entirety of the region and not be a localized incident. Moving us on.
I think right now that is sort of unclear. I did see, though, Netanyahu, who's the leader of Israel, just made a statement officially. Netanyahu states that Israel targeted Iran's main enrichment facility in Natanz. He did not state whether or not they targeted the nuclear reactors themselves. Right now, that's an unknown. And I think I would err on the side of what you're saying as well, that they probably did not.
Yeah, I know the enforcer's a douche, but they got that map up or whatever. Like, these guys are idiots. But you're going to see a bunch of, hold on, let me show you. Live right now has just shifted everywhere. And you guys have to understand, with the clips that I watch for a living, most of the people that are going to pop up in my feed are going to be douchebags. So just understand that. Yeah, Israel launches a preemptive strike on Iran. Okay, this is
a little bit more on what Benjamin Netanyahu has been saying as this plays out here.
Actually, I've not, Gotti. However, I was reaching out to a couple of sources at the White House, and as is often the case here, having a difficult time getting through.
Yeah, because they don't know what's going on. They wouldn't even know if they were directly involved. They wouldn't know what was going on.
No, I have not seen exactly what Prime Minister Netanyahu has said. I'm trying to get a transcript of that.
It's nice to know that even I'm up to date with NBC News.
But as we do that, I can tell you that the White House monitoring this very closely.
Yeah, I know they're maggots. That's not important to me because I have to. I listen to those guys to see where the languaging will come from. Does that make sense? Like, you've got to know what the other side is saying. That's what I watch all the time. That's how I know when a talking point is going to surface.
As you just heard from Courtney right there, making it very clear so early on that it was not involved in this. In the distance there, and that is significant considering that.
Okay, we're only seeing the footage from Tehran, and apparently they hit Natanz, and Natanz is the actual facility, the enrichment facility.
To Tehran, the Iranian capital. Again, unclear.
This is great. Great footage. Great work, NBC News. I think this is the best. Here comes that Pulitzer. This is Emmy category level. This is fantastic.
Any injuries at this point? Unclear the extent of the damage here, but we're just starting to get that video in. And the point that Courtney makes is very key. We do not know if this is the first wave of strikes in Iran.
It's the first wave. I'm just saying. Okay, I gotta go. I gotta go to this event. I'm expected someplace, and I gotta be in Hollywood by 7 o'clock. So, love you guys. Take care of yourselves and take care of somebody else. Wish me luck just in travel through the crater. I will check in with you guys later. And tomorrow on the morning show, Harry Dunn will be on with us, and then I have no doubt we will be covering. I don't know if he's Andrea. Is he first hour or second hour? Because if he's first hour, whatever the other hour is, we will be covering, I have no doubt, what's happened during the evening. And I may even check in with you guys. If I get down to Hollywood and there's, any rubble worth, shooting, I'll shoot you guys a video. I want to thank everybody for the super chats today. I don't know if did we meet our goal? Did we do that? Hold on, let me check in with the chat room. Did we hit our goal for the super chats today? Because if we did, then I promise to make a video of everybody who's a guest at, let's see. Yes. Yes, we did. Okay, hold on. I think we did. Did we? Yep. Looking good. I think so. Or maybe not. We got close. I'll still do it anyways. You guys know that. I don't hide anything. All right. Much love. I will see you guys later. Take care of yourselves and take care of somebody else. And everybody say bye to Tig. Bye, everybody. Bye. See you later. Bye. Okay, then hold on. I have an ending screen somewhere in this mess.